What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including AEW wants to work with WWE, a gruesome injury in NXT, a backstage fight in AEW, Bray Wyatt debuts a new finisher wearing an Uncle Howdy mask, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at AEW wanting to work with WWE. Our top story today examines recent comments from AEW President Tony Khan, who revealed that he's open to working with WWE in some capacity. Khan recently appeared on the WTF with Mark Maron, and this is what he had to say. Who knows, it's something I would certainly be open to, and I think it's an interesting thing for the future. It's not something that's ever really been done. They've kind of existed in their own space. We're working with a lot of wrestling promotions, and at times they've done stuff like that, but it would be a really interesting thing to see at some point. Khan would then go on to compare AEW and WWE to DC and Marvel, adding, "I think it's like Marvel and DC. You don't see those superheroes really crossing over very much. I think there'd be a lot of jostling for who's going to be positioned stronger. It would get very political. Would you guys like to see WWE and AEW work together? Perhaps a super show can be produced in a collaborative effort, but this would rely on both AEW and WWE being fully on board with the idea." Next up, another fight went backstage at AEW. There's been a number of physical commotions backstage in AEW over the past year, and a new report from Fightful Select indicates that another went down last year. Fightful Select reports that AEW stars Swerve Strickland and Ricky Starks were involved in a physical altercation backstage at Double or Nothing 2022. It's believed that the issue stemmed from a miscommunication in the match, but it said that both men are now on good terms and that there's no bad blood between the two. Next up, NXT star suffers a gruesome injury, so viewer discretion is advised. Last night's NXT Vengeance Day event kicked off with Wesley defending his North American title against Dijak. Whilst the match had received rave reviews from fans, during the match, Dijak suffered a serious injury which looked to be a dislocated finger. This injury was shown close up on camera a few times, and it's kinda hard to look at. Following his loss, Dijak took to Twitter and tweeted a photo of him giving the injured middle finger to the camera. Thankfully, Shawn Michaels has since confirmed that Dijak's finger has been put back in place following an X-ray scan. This likely means that he won't miss any time away from WWE television, and he'll be continuing his storyline on NXT TV with Tony D'Angelo and Channing Lorenzo. Next up, a major change coming to NXT. Last night, social media was buzzing thanks to a tweet from Brian Alvarez which read, "NXT is going to allow talent to work at select indies going forward," which is a pretty big deal. This naturally excited fans, as the thought of seeing the likes of Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes on the independent scene is a thrilling concept. However, on the post-NXT Vengeance Day media call, Shawn Michaels seemed to shut down this initial report whilst talking to Fightful Sean Ross Sapp. HBK stated, "As of right now, that was honestly a one-shot deal. Booker has obviously been very good to us here. It was something that he asked, and we obviously wanted to help him out with that. As of right now, there's no talk of any of that, to my knowledge. Right now, that was just us helping Booker out with a show and doing what we could to see if we could help. Right now, to the best of my knowledge, it's just a one-shot deal for now. It'll be interesting to see if HBK is kept out of the loop on this or Alvarez has simply jumped the gun." WWE allowing talent to work other shows was an extremely rare sight under the old regime, so fans are now wondering if Triple H and his team are a little more relaxed in this regard. Do you think WWE allowing NXT talent to work independent shows is a good idea? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE star turning heel. Cody Rhodes is back working house shows in WWE following his dramatic return at the Royal Rumble. For yesterday's house show in Columbus, Georgia, Rhodes would go one-on-one with his former arch-rival Seth Rollins. But upon fan footage of their match appearing on social media, fans were questioning if WWE are once again turning Rollins heel. It looks like the Rhodes and Rollins feud is exclusively back on for the house show circuit, and Rollins still appears to be remaining a babyface on Raw. Rollins recently called out Logan Paul in a shoot promo on Instagram Live, and it looks like Rollins will be facing Logan Paul in one of the biggest matches on the WrestleMania 39 card. In relation to Rhodes, his match is already confirmed. He'll be taking on Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal title in the biggest match of his career. Next up, WWE splitting the Usos. The Usos are one of the most celebrated and decorated tag teams in WWE history, but there's now speculation that WWE could be splitting Jimmy and Jay up. Jay notoriously walked on the bloodline at the Royal Rumble, and according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE could be looking to pair Jimmy with Solo Sikoa for the foreseeable future. Meltzer added, Braun Strowman and Ricochet have to wrestle the Usos next week, so that's a weird one, so maybe they can't keep Jay out. Maybe Solo, can they do that? I guess that's sort of established that on Raw, that Adam Pearce thing. I know that Jimmy and Solo did a dark match against the Gallows and Anderson last night, so they're giving them the experience as a team, or at least one match as a team. Perhaps that's where they will go. As things stand, it looks like the Usos vs Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is planned for Wrestlemania 39, and there have been no reports of WWE wanting to go in a different direction. Next up, does WWE deserve an Emmy? The storyline revolving around the bloodline at Sami Zayn has been wonderfully received by fans, with some going even so far as to call it one of the best storylines of all time. One individual in WWE who's a huge fan of the storyline is long-term commentator Michael Cole. Cole believes that the storyline is strong enough for WWE to win an Emmy. Speaking on the Pat McAfee show, Cole revealed, "The last 15 minutes of the event Saturday night, Pat, we didn't say a word. We did not utter a sound for the last 15 minutes of that show. When Sami Zayn turned on Roman Reigns and hit him with the chair, that pop was enormous. This Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Bloodline, Sami Zayn storyline is probably the best television we've done in a decade, and it's Emmy worth in many ways." Sami Zayn is now set to face Roman Reigns in the main event of the Elimination Chamber, and there are even some calls from fans to see Zayn defeat Reigns and walk into WrestleMania 39 as champion. Next up, Ronda Rousey behind major creative change. Ronda Rousey is rumoured to be teaming up with Shayna Baszler to take on Damage Control at WrestleMania 39. Whilst this match seems rather random, it was actually Rousey who was mastermind behind it, as she has a strong desire to team with Baszler and compete for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Dave Meltzer discussed this on the Wrestling Observer Radio, and this is what he had to say. They made the decision to go with Charlotte, which was basically a last minute thing. Let's put her over. Ronda then decided she wanted to be a tag team champion with Shayna Baszler because she's always wanted to do that run, so she will do that run. And finally, Bray Wyatt debuts a new finisher and sports an Uncle Howdy mask. Our final story today takes a look at how Bray Wyatt seems to be using a brand new finishing move. Bray Wyatt's match with LA Knight at the Royal Rumble received mixed reviews from fans, but WWE are still full steam ahead with Wyatt's push headed into WrestleMania 39. Wyatt had a dark match before SmackDown this week where he once again defeated LA Knight, but what's interesting about this is that to defeat Knight, Wyatt used a brand new finishing move. Fan footage shows Wyatt connecting with the Mandible Claw before performing a chokeslam. Wyatt had previously used the Mandible Claw finish as the Fiend, but it looks like Wyatt has evolved the move into a chokeslam variant. It's unclear what WWE's plans are for Wyatt at WrestleMania 39. It was reported a number of months ago that Wyatt may be wrestling Uncle Howdy. Interestingly, at a WWE live event yesterday, Wyatt came to the ring wearing an Uncle Howdy mask, so this storyline continues to evolve. Uncle Howdy is still believed to be Bo Dallas, and hopefully the mystery surrounding the identity of Howdy unravels as we get closer to WrestleMania 39 in April. Additionally, it was also reported just a few days ago that another sponsored match will be going down at WrestleMania this year, so fans are now speculating that this will once again involve Wyatt. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.